Hey everybody, and welcome to Sports Week. I'm your host, Seth Hagen. We are in the midst of March Madness. It's about to go down. We just saw a bunch of great tournaments, so I had to bring along a little bit of help. It's my friend Hunter Price. He's a coach in the area, does AAU stuff, and closely follows the game like I do myself. But him, maybe even a tad more, which is crazy because I'm nuts about sports. But we've got a great show lined up for you guys. We're just going to basically guide you through the tournament, give you the brackets, go through the regions, give you our Final Four predictions later on in the show, so make sure you stick around. We're going to give you basically a how-to guide on how to do this bracket stuff. And we're not perfect by any means, but I think you'll like what we've got in store. So let's get to it right off the bat. We're going to start with the NCAA Tournament's South bracket, where the number 1 seed Kansas Jayhawks reside, and they'll be playing the Austin Peay Governors. I don't think we need to worry too much this week in this tournament about a 116 upset. It's pretty much never happened.
It's never happened. It's not going to happen this year either.
No. I think at the top we're pretty sure about what we have.
Especially this Austin Peay, first time ever an 8 seed Ohio Valley Conference tourney seed has won. I mean, they're only 16 and 17, I think is their record.
Jeez.
They're not beating Kansas.
No. Certainly not. So we can kind of go ahead and knock that off. But right off the bat in the 8-9 seed, you gotta love this one. UConn playing Colorado somehow is a higher seed than Colorado at the 9 seed. Huskies obviously coming off a win in the AAC tournament.
How come? I mean, they had to win the tournament really to get in.
Yeah,
you can't say they should be a higher seed than Colorado.
I don't know, man. I didn't like Colorado, and they didn't do well in their conference tournament. And in the Pac-12, you have to have a much better showing. So I don't know. I just feel like this one is a pretty easy win for the Huskies. What do you see?
I actually like Colorado in this game.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I like Colorado. I like their senior leadership. RPI is 35. Strength of schedule is 39. UConn strength of schedule is 53.
Okay. So we're not dealing with rookies here. It should be a close game. Right now, Connecticut only favored to win by 3.
Yeah, I like Colorado. I mean, their leading rebounder is also their leading assist, and their leading scorer, Scott, fantastic basketball player.
Okay. All right. So Kevin Ollie getting that tournament win, but this year is not the year to make the run. Is that what you're telling me?
No, not this year. No way it's going to happen 2 times, is it? There's no way they can make that run again.
There's something about UConn, and just when you count them out, that's when they make the run. Or just when you think they might be a little bit soft, they win the conference tournament. It's insane.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you're right.
I love their momentum, and Colorado has very little, I feel, going into it. But that being said, I hope UConn has enough legs, because they gave us the game of the year this past week in that quadruple overtime finisher. I mean, folks, if you didn't watch the conference tournament, you missed out. It was insane.
Another thing I like is Colorado's fresh. They didn't go too far in their Pac-12 tournament.
Yeah, that's true.
UConn 4 overtimes. Oh my gosh, incredible game. UConn's going to have fresh legs. I mean, Colorado's going to have fresh legs. UConn's not going to have. It's not like they're not going to have fresh legs.
Right.
But
they should be okay.
I like Colorado.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the 5-12 matchup as we move down our bracket here in the South. We're looking at Maryland, South Dakota State. Now, again, I'm kind of seeing an easy win for the Maryland Terrapins, but South Dakota State is a dangerous team, make no mistake. So what do you think? I know you like Maryland, so I'm really interested to find out why you think
I think Maryland's going to win this game because, I mean, Maryland, strength of schedule is 32. Their RPI is 14. They have probably one of the most talented starting 5s in college basketball. They got one of the best freshman point guards in Trimble.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to load it. Pretty much, you could take Maryland and all 5 guys, put them on separate teams, and they'd all be first team all conference. But it's a scary game at the same. I think Maryland wins, but it's a scary game because South Dakota State, their RPI is 28, And get this, their coach Scott Nagy has coached there since 1995. So if you don't believe he's got his players and his system in place, you've got another thing coming. They're going to be a great team. Led by a redshirt freshman who scored double digits in 20 straight games.
I'll take that.
He's a big forward. You can move. You can shoot from anywhere on the floor.
Okay.
But I think that fits into Maryland because Maryland, they can play Jack Lehman, who's, he's a big, but he also plays the 3 and the 4. He can kind of work and cover him, I think. I don't think they're going to have that much of a mismatch for that forward for South Dakota State.
Okay. All right. Well, right now we're kind of split up on it, but let's go ahead and move on to the next matchup. California and Hawaii. This should be a pretty close one. The 4-13 matchup, that's always ripe for an upset, and you never really know who it's going to be. Right now, Cal is a very young team. However, they do rank 12th in defensive rebounding, which is huge in these late season games. But they play a Hawaii Warriors team that has won the conference tournament in the Big West to win the whole thing to get in.
Hawaii's a dangerous team. Yeah. They've only lost once to a team with a sub 100 RPI.
Yeah.
Colorado, though, I think they pulled this one off. 16th RPI, 15th strength of schedule with a 23-10 record. I think Cal wins this one.
Yeah, California favored by 7.5 to win this one. At this point, it might just be a talent barrier that you're talking about. You don't always see Hawaii in the tournament. Let's look at Arizona, who will basically be playing the play-in opponent, many of which think will be Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, a team that a lot of people thought would go deep in the SEC tournament because of their ability to play defense down low, and their three-point shooting was unexpectedly bounced by Tennessee for whatever reason. They just seem to be having a problem with Tennessee in general, even in Nashville.
They're not playing Tennessee. They're playing Wichita State.
Yeah.
And I think Vanderbilt
Wichita is a good team. I'm not really sure why it's almost a given that Vanderbilt would come in.
I like Vanderbilt. I got a chance to watch Vanderbilt's team walkthrough before they played Auburn. And the focus that Kevin Stalling brings to Vanderbilt, I like that. I like the maturity of their players, their length, their size, their ability to step out though and shoot.
Definitely a three-point threat.
Yeah, they are. I like Vanderbilt to win this game.
You gotta love Luke down low. I mean, that guy is a blocking machine,
yes.
And that's also something that you need. You need a rim protector in March. So they may or may not play Arizona. Do you think that Arizona wins regardless?
Yeah, I do.
I think a 6-11 matchup is very scary.
I got Arizona beating Vanderbilt.
Okay.
It's the first time they haven't been a 1 or 2 seed for forever. But
won't be hard for the coach to motivate his players.
They're a tough team. It's got a lot of grit and a lot of toughness, and they're deep.
Okay.
And they got some senior leadership, and this is really one of the better offensive teams Arizona has had in years.
Okay.
So
that's saying something.
And I think that matches up well against Vanderbilt.
Okay. Good deal. Well, I tend to think the same way. I really don't trust Vanderbilt. They're too hot and cold for me, and I don't like teams like that in March. A team that really came out of nowhere this year and has really played exceptionally well in the Atlantic Coast Conference is Miami, and they meet the MAC Conference champion Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bulls. And boy, what a great matchup this is going to be. Another 3-14 matchup. What do you see out of this one?
This is not the same Buffalo team as last year.
Right.
I think Miami takes this one. Miami's a real talented team.
Yep.
A lot of depth. They can be shaky at times. You never know what you're really going to get with Miami. But their RPI is 9. Strength of schedule is 16, and they went 25-7, finished third in the best conference in basketball.
And they're a great scoring team, top 20.
I don't know who you call the best conference. ACC, Big 10, Big 12, who knows?
It really is a toss-up.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of good basketball being played.
I take Miami.
Yeah, Miami currently favored by 14 points, so Vegas really seeing some good talent with Miami, and I would tend to agree. Next, Iowa, a team that is playing the Temple Owls. 7-10 matchup, really a 50-50 split over the years. It's so close. But Iowa was playing some really good basketball down the stretch and found themselves in the Big Ten championship and within 3 points of a number 2 seed Michigan State team. But Temple is also very dangerous in its own right. What do you see from that?
I like Temple.
You like Temple?
I like Temple a lot in this one. They're only 1-4 against top 25, and their RPI is only 63 compared to Iowa at 28.
Right.
But they've beaten Cincinnati twice. They've beaten SMU, and they've gotten blown out in some games, but they also only lost to Utah by 6. They're 9-3 in the last 12 games, and Iowa is 5-7 in the last 12 games.
Yeah, and I really like Utah.
Temple is playing their best basketball right now, and Iowa is not. Iowa was a top number 1 ranked team in the country just about a month and a half ago.
It's true.
And now
it's just a testament to how crazy the top 10 has been.
Now they're not even in the top 25.
Hard to believe. But they have picked up some momentum in this tournament. But you still think Temple?
No, I like Temple.
Okay, cool. That is where we part ways, but let's keep it going.
Temple only turns the ball over 14.5.
Yeah, they are an exceptional ball handling team. I will give that. It's not going to be hard.
I'm sorry, they create 14.5 turnovers a game.
Really? Wow. And they are, like I said, they're actually the number 1 ranked ball handling team in the country.
Yep.
It's insane. All right, well, let's look at Villanova versus the UNC Asheville Bulldogs. I have a small connection to Asheville, North Carolina, so there's a soft spot in my heart for the Bulldogs. This is unfamiliar territory for them, so I have no illusions about what's about to happen. This is probably the best Villanova team in a while, and certainly in their head coach's tenure.
Yeah, no, Jay Wright's he's going to crank up that Nova engine, and they're going to roll right over UNC.
I mean, it won't be hard to motivate this team, given how many times they have screwed up in March the last few years.
This is a senior-led team. I really like this Nova team.
Yeah. They may have come of age, and it would be a great story.
They have a great point guard.
All right, cool. Well, we're going to take a little break here in a little bit, but I'm going to let you guys know what we got coming up. Next, we'll have the West region, and that will be a crazy one in its own right. Oregon with their first number 1 seed ever in history. I think that kind of sets up for an early round exit for the Ducks. But hey, we'll see what happens. They're playing the number 16 seed, probably will be Holy Cross. Everybody, stick around. We'll be back with more Sports Weekly in just a moment.
Moe's Original Barbecue, where you'll find award-winning Bama-style pulled pork, racks of ribs, and chicken smoked fresh daily over hardwood, served with 2 unique sauces, plus 8 to 10 traditional sides and tasty desserts. Moe's opens daily at 11 a.m., serving lunch and dinner until it's all gone. There's also a full premium bar with plenty of TVs for sports viewing and live music. Moe's Original Barbecue offers large party takeout orders, catering, and delivery. Moe's Barbecue, a unique all things Southern barbecue experience.
At Premier Bank, you have a financial partner you can depend on. Hi, I'm Jay Mullins, president of Premier Bank, with some exciting news about our financial strength and performance. For the 6th consecutive year, our bank has been rated 5 stars by Bauer Financial, an independent firm that has been analyzing and reporting on the financial condition of the nation's banking industry since 1983. This prestigious rating means that we are one of the strongest banks in the nation, and a safe and sound bank you can depend on.
The 2016 Fiat 500X has arrived, and it's ready to drive at Fiat of Huntsville. This perfectly bold crossover is impressively equipped with a turbocharged engine, seating for 5, available all-wheel drive, and just $249 a month or $4,000 off. Plus, you get customizable amenities like 5 different trim levels to perfectly match your style. Come experience the all-new Fiat 500X at Fiat of Huntsville or online at fiatusaofhuntsville.com, a Frank Williams dealership.
Welcome back to Sports Weekly, everybody. I'm your host, Seth Hagen. Brought a little help with me to navigate us through March Madness. His name is Hunter Price. And Hunter, we're headed to the West region now, where the Oregon Ducks hold the #1 seed. First time they've ever done that. I think they get through their first round easily. We just mentioned, no hope for a 16 seed.
They're going to move on, but I think Holy Cross won the play-in game, and I think Holy Cross could give them a scare. They're one of those teams where, they don't have a lot of athletes, but they're full of guys that know the game of basketball.
And that sometimes that can be crazy.
That's
and again, Oregon is very inexperienced. Has not been a good tournament team.
That's what makes mid-major teams dangerous is basketball players versus athletes.
I like that. So, but they probably do advance. But I don't know if they get past this next team. St. Joseph's squares off against Cincinnati, and St. Joe's is a great team, a great ball handling team. Does not turn the ball over. As well as a great defensive rebounding team. They made a great run in the Atlantic 10 tournament, one of the best conferences out there as far as men's basketball is concerned. I think they get past the Cincinnati Bearcats.
I think they beat the Cincinnati Bearcats too.
Yeah. Like I said, they're going to give Oregon trouble.
Both teams are 8-4 in the last 12 games, and St. Joe's RPI is 23, Cincinnati's is 44. I think that has a lot to do with it. St. Joe's 2-1 versus top 25, and Cincinnati's 1-3. And the biggest thing I don't have in front of me, but one thing you want to look at with all teams, assist to turnover ratio.
Yeah.
Your defense and offensive rebounds, of course, always.
Sure.
But then free throw shooting.
Yeah, you got to have the clutch shooters.
You got to have good free throw shooting to win national championship. And then you're going to look for your upsets. And your upsets look for their assist to turnover ratio and their free throw shooting.
Definitely. You need that. You got to have the ice cold veins in March, certainly. A 5-12 matchup that is pretty crazy in its own right. Baylor against the Bulldogs of Yale. Baylor has had an off and on season, 22 wins, 11 losses, of course playing in that very stacked Big 12 conference. Do you think they get past Yale?
I think they get past Yale. Yeah, I think this is a 12-5 that the 5 wins. Yale's a great ball team. They've won 11 out of their last 12. Baylor, not so much. They're 5-7 in their last 12. They are. But I don't know. I like Baylor in this game.
Yeah,
sometimes you got to look at games and just go with a gut feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Yale, while a good team, had not won the Ivy League in almost 35 years plus. I mean, they just don't have the experience there. Baylor has been in the tournament the last 5 or 6 years.
50 years since Yale's been in the tournament.
I mean,
it
was an obscene number.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just don't see it. And plus, Baylor, an exceptional offensive rebounding team, ranked 3rd in the entire country. So I think they get it done.
Yeah.
And maybe easily, despite the 11 losses. Duke against NC Wilmington. Do the Seahawks stand any chance against their in-state rival?
No.
No chance.
No. Move on to the next game. Duke wins.
See, I don't know, man. Duke is a little up and down to me. 10 losses on the year.
UNC Wilmington's got a 47 RPI, and they've won 10 out of the last 12. But I think you got Coach K, you've got Grayson Allen, you got Plumlee.
Let's just hope it's not one of those years.
They don't have a lot of depth. Duke does, but they play smart basketball, which keeps them out of foul trouble a lot of times. They talk on defense better than anybody in the country, and that's why Duke, no matter who's on the roster, is always a contender.
Okay. If I'm a betting man, I take Duke straight up, but favored by 10.5. I'm not so sure. Texas against North Iowa. Northern Iowa.
Northern Iowa
is a pretty. I mean, we're very familiar with this team now in March, a giant killer in their own right. In the 11-6 matchup, in the last 6 years, the 6-11 matchup has gone 50-50 both ways. The 11 seed winning exactly half, and the 6 seed winning exactly.
Northern Iowa's hot right now, but they're not winning this one. I'm going with the 6 seed Texas. Okay. Texas has got their freshman ball player back, and he's been killer. He's Isaiah Taylor, Javon. They take great care of the basketball, which is important when you play these small teams. They're better on offense. Shaka Smart knows how to win.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He's no stranger to March.
Northern Iowa, they had to win their league to get into the tournament this year. They weren't an at-large bid like usual.
Interesting.
This is one of the more weaker Northern Iowa teams we've seen in the tournament.
And so, and for that reason, you think that
I think
just
Texas,
the
Texas
talent disparity is there.
Texas
certainly?
goes on.
Okay. All right, let's take a look at the next matchup: Texas A&M against Wisconsin Green Bay. Texas A&M, despite winning the SEC, or pardon me, despite losing the SEC championship game, ended up with the higher seed here in this West region. Why do you think that happened, and do you think they roll over the Phoenix of Wisconsin Green Bay?
You mean why they have a higher seed than Kentucky?
Yeah.
Because the NCAA tournament bases it off of your entire work of art
Okay.
instead of just your tournament.
Okay.
That's my opinion. For them to change.
But a team that actually won gets the lower
it's
seed.
basketball.
Okay.
I mean, anybody can beat anybody. I think it's March. We should know that. And
Certainly
saying
do.
that, anybody can beat anybody. Texas A&M is going to beat Green Bay.
Yeah. Green Bay, not the most experienced team when it comes to the very late postseason. Oregon State playing semi-decent, but I think the VCU Rams get this one, and they get this one easily, even though they're technically the underdog at the 10 seed. What do you think?
I'm going Oregon State.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me why.
You got Gary Payton's jeans on the court.
Gary Payton's jeans.
You got the
He-
glove
he is-
2.0.
Okay.
First team all-conference 2 years in a row now. The kid can play,
Okay.
and I think he's going to bring it. This is the first time VCU's been in the tournament without Shaka Smart. I'm interested to see how they react to that.
That will be an interesting thing to watch. But if Oregon State has that closer in Gary Payton Jr., I mean, anything can happen.
Yep.
I mean, they can make a run. Who knows? To me, it's between Michigan State and Oklahoma to be the best two seeds in the entire tournament. Do they have any problem with the Roadrunners of California State Bakersfield, who had never been to the tournament before?
Yeah, and they're going to go home after one game. Buddy Hield could sit this game out. They could sit their starters. They're going to win this game.
Yeah. Oklahoma favored by 14.
Yeah, Oklahoma's going to win this game. Hands down.
Yeah.
Move on.
Super easy. All right, well, let's take a look now at the East. We'll send it to a break here in a little bit, but we want to get to our Final Fours as well at the end of the show. So North Carolina playing a play-in team. Most people think it'll be Florida Gulf Coast
I think it's
since
gonna
they've
be
been in
Fairleigh
the tournament
I
before.
think it's going to be Fairleigh Dickinson, but either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does not matter.
North Carolina's going to win this game, but I think it's going to be Fairleigh Dickinson, man. Watching their fans rush the floor at Wagner.
And Wagner is a team that has pulled off several upsets in the last
They
few
beat
years.
Wagner at Wagner, and I saw Fairleigh Dickinson's fans rush the floor. Just that boost of confidence. I think Fairleigh Dickinson wins the play-in, but nothing's going to happen against UNC.
Yeah, it's way too talented. USC against Providence. USC placing 5th in the Pac-12. Had a decent showing in the Pac-12 tournament, but Providence here is, to me, the much more talented team.
Oh, Providence is going to win. Providence is my dark horse to really mess up some brackets.
Okay, so that's good. I want to know exactly what you think with that, because
I'm going Providence.
Providence, you think, will give North Carolina a lot of trouble as well.
I think they're going to give North Carolina more than a lot of trouble.
Okay, all right. See, it would be incredible if 2 1 seeds were to go down in the second round of the tournament. I think it's Oregon. He thinks it's North Carolina. Folks, there might be some consternation. I'm just saying. But let's take a look at Indiana, Chattanooga. I think that Indiana would get an easy win here, but you seem to really like the Mocs. What do you think?
They're a really good basketball team.
I love it.
They're 1-1 versus the top 25. They've beaten Georgia, Dayton, and Illinois this year.
3 different.
They're 29-5.
Provinces.
It's a
Okay.
dangerous 12-5. I'm going Indiana.
Right.
Old Yogi,
Yeah.
senior, he's good.
Oh, he's good.
I think
Very
Indiana
good.
pulls it off, but that's a dangerous game. If you want to go Chattanooga, I wouldn't blame you at all.
It might be a good
My upset-
game to play the under. It's a 12-point spread, pretty massive
My
right there.
upset- my
And there's
upsets are coming.
always a 5-12 upset, always.
Just wait.
All
There
right.
wasn't last year, by the way.
Oh, that was like the first time in forever.
Kentucky
But you're right. You're right, though. All right, so that brings us to the number 4 seed in Kentucky, who we just mentioned. They're playing the Sea Wolves of Stony Brook. I don't even know what a Sea Wolf is, but do they have any chance against the Wildcats?
They're going to be a starfish after the game because Kentucky's going to run into the ground.
Yeah, Kentucky, a fantastic team, closed so well in the SEC tournament. And ended up covering actually in overtime, winning with those 2 dagger threes. Pretty incredible job. I think Tyler Eulis is like the second best team or the second best player in the country.
Don't ruin college sports for those betting lines and covers.
It's real though.
Let the amateurs be amateurs and love the game.
All right. I will let, so Kentucky, obviously. Indiana Hoosiers. We obviously think that they'll win in that game.
Taking Notre Dame in this
Notre Dame in the 6th seed again, playing another play-in team. Some people think it'll be Michigan.
I think Michigan wins against Tulsa.
Yeah, Tulsa.
But,
I don't even know why they made it in the tournament.
I think Notre Dame wins. I don't know why they made it. I know nothing about Tulsa.
Tulsa got smacked
who knows
around
why
by
they-
Memphis in the semifinals of the American, and then Memphis, for all their good that they had done in the last few games, got smoked out fairly quickly. Very dominant game by UConn in the overall. Memphis certainly made some runs, but I mean it was over fairly quickly, and I just don't see it.
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
go to the next one. Notre
right.
Dame wins against the play-in.
Really, you don't think Michigan has any chance?
In one of my brackets, I picked it just because you want to change your brackets, but Notre Dame.
Yeah, the
Let's
6-11
go.
matchup is crazy, and Notre Dame always, unfortunately, susceptible to that upset, but I think they win. West Virginia playing some of the best basketball in the country right now, but they go against the giant killers from Stephen F. Austin.
Stephen F.
What do you
Austin.
think?
You're talking about Stephen F. Austin that's won 20 in a row?
They always seem to be playing well this time of year.
And
so
that's where the
it's-
streak
it's
stops
it's
because
no
West
given.
Virginia is going to win. 2 more. Quick.
They are incredible. All right, so
I got Pitt beating Wisconsin.
yeah, Pitt, Wisconsin,
And I got
think is fairly simple.
Xavier
Even
beating
though
Weber
Wisconsin
State.
should be good, but Ryan's not there, and that's going to hurt them. Pitt plays tough. Weber State against Xavier, the 2 seed.
Xavier. Plain
All right.
simple. Xavier.
All right, we'll be right back, y'all, with more Sports Weekly.
Moe's Original Barbecue, where you'll find award-winning Bama-style pulled pork, racks of ribs, and chicken smoked fresh daily over hardwood, served with 2 unique sauces, plus 8 to 10 traditional sides and tasty desserts. Moe's opens daily at 11 a.m., serving lunch and dinner until it's all gone. There's also a full premium bar with plenty of TVs for sports viewing and live music. Moe's Original Barbecue offers large party takeout orders, catering, and delivery. Moe's Barbecue, a unique all things Southern barbecue experience.
The 2016 Fiat 500X has arrived, and it's ready to drive at Fiat of Huntsville. This perfectly bold crossover is impressively equipped with a turbocharged engine, seating for 5, available all-wheel drive, and just $249 a month or $4,000 off. Plus, you get customizable amenities like 5 different trim levels to perfectly match your style. Come experience the all-new Fiat 500X at Fiat of Huntsville or online at fiatusaofhuntsville.com, a Frank Williams dealership.
My grandfather became a jeweler in 1944. My father opened Ed White Jewelers in 1961, and now I'm a 3rd-generation jeweler. Offering a wide variety of engagement rings and a large selection of loose diamonds, plus anniversary and baby gifts have kept our customers coming back for generations. So shop where your grandmother shopped. She loved our quality, and you will too. Shop Ed White Jewelers for the good stuff.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Weekly. I'm your host Seth Hagen, alongside my guy Hunter Price. We're guiding you through this March Madness that we're going through right now. Obviously a great week of basketball there in the past, and even more great basketball to come. I'm not sure that they can top all the half-court shots that we saw.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, what in the world is going on? I mean, Steph Curry seems to make one every week.
March Madness is about. How could it get any crazier than it's already been?
You question it, and yet it always seems to happen.
It's going to happen.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to happen.
I cannot wait. So let's get straight into this Midwest region, our last region, then we'll move into the second round where we'll look at basically Sundays and Mondays matchups, or pardon me, Saturdays and Sundays matchups. So Texas Tech, Butler Bulldogs, they've been here before, and I think they get this one done against Texas Tech, who really hasn't been. What do you think about Texas Tech and
we're at Texas
Butler?
Tech Butler.
Yeah.
Okay, we stopped Virginia. We skipped over Virginia.
I'm going to skip that.
Hampton lost by 33 to SMU, 42 to Colorado, and they lost by 30 to Princeton. I think they're really going to make it a game against Virginia.
Yeah, why not? I mean, personally, I will say this. I thought Virginia was right next to Oregon and just not. I don't think they deserved the number one seed. I liked Michigan State at that number one seed. But now that you have put.
I like Michigan State and Oklahoma in the number one seed.
Right. I mean, this whole thing was just a mess last night.
It's time to go to 8 and 9. I don't even watch the selection, man. I put my basketball team through a 3-hour practice.
There's always a joke. There's always a joke in there.
Later.
All right, so Butler moves on from Texas Tech. They will play Virginia, of course. Purdue, Arkansas, Little Rock. Purdue's been playing some good basketball, but you're seeing a little trouble maybe from Arkansas, Little Rock.
This is a 12-5, and the 5's going down. Taking Arkansas, Little Rock. They're 29-4. They got an RPI of 45. They're 10-2 in their last 10 games.
And they're top 10 defense in the entire country as well.
Yeah, they're top 10 defense. They lead the country in points on defense per 100 possessions.
That's incredible.
They do not turn the ball over, and they rebound well. They slow the game down. And Purdue likes to speed it up, and I'm a speed it up type of guy. So I usually would go with like Purdue, but Arkansas Little Rock is deep. They play 10, 11 guys. So even if they get caught up in that hurry up, push the ball Purdue basketball, they're going to have the legs that a lot of
to stick with that.
Yeah. And I like.
So they can play both ways, whereas Purdue may not be able to play half-court offense and be totally effective with it.
Yep.
All right, everybody, you heard it here first. Arkansas Little Rock maybe taking down the Boilermakers.
Arkansas Little Rock also has 10 transfers on their team from this year. Its new head coach took over the team.
Wow. That's incredible to form that kind of chemistry and get to the tournament with that kind of team.
You got to think, if he's got 10 transfers, some are coming from, I don't know where they came from, but some big-time programs probably. They've got a lot of talent on that team.
All right, got to be wary.
29-4.
All right,
Arkansas Little Rock.
And right off that potential upset, I think we've got another one with Iona facing Iowa State.
We do.
Iowa State last year lost in the first round. You remember to UAB. No chance of that this year. UAB completely flopped in the Conference USA tournament, leaving the door open for Middle Tennessee State to take that 15 seed, and that complete crushing that they're going to take.
Well,
but Iona, I think here upsets
I'm taking
Iowa State.
This is my upset region. I got the 12 seed and the 13
This one could
seed
get crazy,
on.
man. The Midwest could be a few cyclones in there.
Yeah, I like Iona in this game.
Right,
They're
cool.
on an 8-game win streak, and they like to play fast push ball. They average 10.3 threes a game.
Okay.
And small teams, you got to have some good three-point shooting to get those upsets.
Right.
Iowa State, you never know what you're going to get with them.
All right. Well, here's this is the crazy region. That 6-11 matchup, you have to think is also a little crazy as well. Seton Hall took it and won the Big East tournament. Very impressive there to win that game, to beat Villanova in the championship. Villanova was a top 5 ranked team and actually knocked Villanova out of the number 1 seed that they would have gotten. So the Seton Hall The Giant Killer is there, but they face a Gonzaga team that is ready for them.
I wouldn't call Seton Hall a giant killer now.
Well, beating Villanova and taking
They're in
them out.
the ACC. I mean, yeah, they beat Villanova, but I mean, they also beat Xavier twice. They beat Villanova. They beat Providence twice. They beat Wichita State, and they lost to Butler twice. I mean,
You gotta love their record against good teams, then.
Yeah, you do. But I like Gonzaga in this game.
Okay.
So I mean, I've got the 13, 12, and 11 seed moving on in this region.
That's incredible right there.
With Cal Welcher, senior, 20.7 points per game, and then you got Sabonis 2.0, 17.4.
Arvydas Sabonis' young boy has finally come to life. I always like, just like Gary Payton's kid, I always love seeing if the kid has as much as the old man, because you see Steph Curry lighting it up.
Let me tell you something. This kid has got every bit of what his dad's got.
Really?
Yeah.
That's.
You will see Sabonis
I love
in the league.
to see Sabonis.
You will
shoot
see
that
Sabonis
three.
in the league.
Okay. All right. So Gonzaga moving on. That brings up Fresno State and Utah. I don't think there's any chance here for a 14-3 upset. Utah is tried and true. They're a good team, and despite the fact that they got blown out by Oregon, this is a good squad, and I see them having no problem with
I
Fresno
think Utah
State.
moves on, but I think it's going to be a close game.
Okay.
Fresno State's won 11 in a row, and they do not turn the ball over. 10.7 turnovers a game.
Okay.
And they shoot the ball great. I think Fresno State will give it a game, but I think Utah wins. Utah is just as hot as Fresno State is.
Yeah, and 15th in scoring in the entire country. A fantastic team. Utah moving on. Dayton against Syracuse. Syracuse kind of snuck in here with the at-large bid after being banned from the postseason last year. Dayton, though, a team that was first in the Atlantic 10. Again, a fantastic conference. And the Syracuse sneaking in the back door, and a lot of people feeling like they shouldn't have even been in the tournament. You got to think that Dayton wins this one, right?
I like Dayton in this game because Dayton knows how to get it done, and Archie
They do.
Miller, they
Absolutely.
have it. I mean, not that Jim,
Dayton
not
seems
that
to
Jim
always
Bohan,
be
not
it.
that Jim Bohan doesn't, but Archie Miller's got a team around him that also knows how to get it done. Unlike Jim Bohan, that does not have a team around him. Even though he knows how to get it done, his team doesn't. I don't think.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, how many more years does Boeheim have left in him? I mean, it's crazy. I think he's the next guy to kind of step down of the
we'll
legendary coaches.
We'll
All right, Michigan State, the previously mentioned Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. Shout out to Middle Tennessee, though. Their men's and women's team actually won the Conference USA, so they'll both have at-large bids. But Michigan State going to stop the party real quick, I think. They should have been a number one seed to me.
All right, Michigan State's going to kill him.
Yeah,
Michigan
absolutely.
State should have been the number one seed.
I absolutely believe it. And they're right.
They took
they're
away
favored by
Val-
almost 18, folks.
No, I mean, yeah. They took away Valentine's box of chocolates.
I like it. Okay, so that takes care of the first round, everybody. A few more minutes left in this segment, so let's go ahead and attack that second round, winding all the way back to the number one seed, Kansas Jayhawks. They play another conference champion in the Connecticut Huskies, but I think Kansas is just too good this year.
You've got Connecticut. I got Colorado moving on.
Well,
But
what do you
know
think
what?
with Kansas
it
and
doesn't
Colorado?
matter.
Either way.
Kansas is going to win. Doesn't matter. Kansas is going to win.
Yeah, I mean,
let's go.
They're so immensely talented, and the senior leadership on that team is very evident. It's not like the last couple of Jayhawks teams that were really dependent on really talented freshmen.
Yeah.
All right, so Kansas moving on. They will face the winner of Maryland and Cal. Cal, a very young team. So if it is indeed Maryland, and we're not saying that it may necessarily be because Maryland may have some problem with their first round matchup, but I think if they're matched up against Cal in this situation, I'm taking Maryland with the more talented, experienced team.
I like Maryland.
Absolutely.
I like Maryland. I think in a tournament, you want to look for leadership and senior leadership.
Yep.
You got that in Rasheed Solomon, and then you also just have that wow factor in Trumbull.
Fantastic.
And you got the outside shooting of Josh. Forgot his name. Sorry.
But he's a great shooter.
Great shooter.
Please remember that. Great shooters
Great
on
shooter.
that Maryland team. They'll advance. We feel fairly confident of that. Miami, Arizona. I think Arizona may be in trouble with Miami. I think Miami will move on pretty easy.
I think Miami may be in trouble with Arizona.
Really? Okay.
I do.
Okay. How do you? How do you see that working out?
Because you never know what you're going to get in Miami. Miami's just such a hot and cold team.
An extremely good
And
shooting
Arizona,
team.
I know what Sean Miller's going to bring. You know, so they got senior leadership, some of their best offense they've had in years. Miami's got some senior leadership as well, but they're just full of crazy athletes, and crazy athletes seem to be the ones that get knocked out of the tournament early.
Right. Okay.
Teams full of just crazy athletes. That's why the SEC's never going to be good until they recruit basketball players. They just have a bunch of athletes.
All right, matchup problem here. And this would go against my thinking, but Arizona, a great defensive rebounding team, ranked 14th in the country. Here's a problem. Miami is 134th in offensive rebounding. That would lead you to believe that if Miami misses shots, they're not getting the ball back. They're going to go right back down the court.
One and done.
And that way, Arizona will have probably 20 more, maybe 25 more shots than Miami. And I mean, Miami would have to shoot an insane percentage.
You could shoot a lower field goal percentage. Miami would still be great.
All right. Well, I think in light of that, it may be Arizona. Looking at Iowa, Villanova. Iowa, like I said, playing very well towards the end, and I think Villanova could be a really. I mean, why not? You're here, aren't you?
Yeah. I've got Temple versus Villanova. And I think Temple beats Villanova. I think the 10 seed Temple beats Villanova in round 32.
I think Iowa would beat Villanova as well.
Well, they're not going to because Temple's going to beat them.
Okay, either way, Villanova's gone, folks, again in the second round as a 2 seed. You got to work on that, Jay. You really do.
Got to change the hole in that Nova, buddy.
My goodness. Moving on to another O in Oregon. I think they go down against St. Joe's.
I like Oregon in this game.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I like their length. I watched them play Alabama, and they're a good ball club. Coach was smart to get out of the press. They pressed, turned Bama over, took a big lead, stopped the press. Alabama started breaking it, took a lead, and they came back, and they were smart enough to realize, hey, if I deny Justin Coleman the ball during the quarter, Alabama can't get in their offense, and they came back and won the game handily. They have good length. They're deep. I like Oregon.
All right. Oregon, moving on. We think mayhaps. I don't know. We'll get to one last matchup, and then we'll take a break, folks, and bring it on back for the finish. Duke against Baylor. If it is, in fact, Duke, I see them moving past Baylor. Just too many holes with the Bears.
I think Grayson Allen goes for his 3rd trip of the year and trips up Baylor and knocks him out of the tournament.
Oh, no. All right, well, you heard it here, folks. Duke moving on. Next up in the Southwest region, we'll move on to Northern Iowa, Texas A&M. We'll see what happens. Everybody stick around. More Sports Weekly with Seth and Hunter in just a moment.
Moe's Original Barbecue, where you'll find award-winning Bama-style pulled pork, racks of ribs, and chicken smoked fresh daily over hardwood, served with 2 unique sauces, plus 8 to 10 traditional sides and tasty desserts. Moe's opens daily at 11 a.m., serving lunch and dinner until it's all gone. There's also a full premium bar with plenty of TVs for sports viewing and live music. Moe's Original Barbecue offers large party takeout orders, catering, and delivery. Moe's Barbecue, a unique all things Southern barbecue experience.
The 2016 Fiat 500X has arrived, and it's ready to drive at Fiat of Huntsville. This perfectly bold crossover is impressively equipped with a turbocharged engine, seating for 5, available all-wheel drive, and just $249 a month or $4,000 off. Plus, you get customizable amenities like 5 different trim levels to perfectly match your style. Come experience the all-new Fiat 500X at Fiat of Huntsville or online at fiatusafhuntsville.com, a Frank Williams dealership.
At College Tire Company, your valuable wheels are safe because our new touchless tire changer protects your wheels during tire removal and installation. The machine never touches the wheel, and the new Force Balancer Match balances your wheel and tire for a vibration-free ride. Buy virtually new name brand tires and you'll get free rotation for the life of the tire at College Tire Company. With 2 locations to serve you better. In Huntsville, call 489-7110. In Hansville, call 352-2221.
At Premier Bank, you have a financial partner you can depend on. Hi, I'm Jay Mullins, president of Premier Bank, with some exciting news about our financial strength and performance. For the 6th consecutive year, our bank has been rated 5 stars by Bauer Financial, an independent firm that has been analyzing and reporting on the financial condition of the nation's banking industry since 1983. This prestigious rating means that we are one of the strongest banks in the nation, and a safe and sound bank you can depend on.
And welcome back, everybody, to Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Seth Hagen, alongside Hunter Price. We're getting you through this March Madness. Last segment here, we're going through the second round, and then we're going to give you our predictions for the Final Four, and then we'll try to wrap everything up next week with the Sweet 16 and an Elite Eight. But right now, we're in the Southwest still, and we're looking for North Iowa against Texas A&M. If it is indeed that matchup and you disagree, Northern Iowa, I think, moves on against Texas A&M. You would have Texas in that spot against Texas A&M. Who wins the Battle of Texas?
And I have Texas winning this battle.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Texas, I mean, they've beaten North Carolina. They've beaten Oklahoma. They've beaten West Virginia twice. Wow. They have already lost to Texas A&M this year by 11.
Okay.
But that was a long time ago.
It was. And I think Texas is certainly a better team than they've been, and I put a real value on coaching in March Madness. That can take you the extra mile.
I love Shaka Smart.
And he's just, bar none, one of the best in the last decade for sure. But Texas A&M going down regardless to the higher seed. Oregon State, Oklahoma in this one. Do the Beavers have any chance against Buddy?
Well, you know, the Beavers haven't been in the tournament since 1990.
Wow.
And
long time.
They got to dance a little bit. They got to shake their hips, move their feet in the first round. But, you know.
But they're not taking the.
They're not taking down Oklahoma and Buddy Hill.
Yeah, they're not taking the girl to the dance.
You're not taking down one of the next NBA stars.
Yeah.
And I mean stars.
Stars.
Yeah.
The guy is incredible. One single pump away from possibly the best buzzer beater of last week.
He's already hit 4 or 5 buzzer beaters this year. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
Oklahoma.
He was just due for a miss, I guess.
I mean, you know, Gary Payton Jr. is going to be just like Gary Payton. You know, they're going to be good, but they're never going to win it all.
Okay. All right. Next matchup, we kind of split ways here. I think North Carolina is an obscenely talented team, just a little bit too much talent for the Providence Friars. But Providence has a fantastic player that I want you to tell everybody about, because we're watching his highlights and the kid can ball.
The kid can more than ball. The kid, just like Buddy Hill. Ben Simmons is great. I think Ben Simmons will be great in the NBA. Mm-hmm. 2 guys that are guaranteed to be stars, Buddy Hill at Oklahoma and Chris Dunn at Providence, point guard. The best point guard in the country on offense and defense. The guy is absolutely insane. Marcus Page can be a little emotional, can let guys get in his head. You're facing Chris Dunn, you're facing a lottery pick that has been there, done that. Yeah. Chris Dunn's going to get in his head.
Yeah, we were talking before the show, and you mentioned that he kind of reminds you a little bit of Chris Paul, but this guy can dunk, folks, and dunk flat-footed.
Oh, 1-step drop, 2-handed dunk in the paint during a game as a point guard.
Yeah, incredible.
They're big. It's almost a walking double-double. They have 7 guys, average 24 minutes a game, Providence does. I think Chris Dunn's going to get all Marcus Page all rattled off in his head. Yeah. And I think if they could hold Bryce Johnson just to 18 and 10. 18 points, 10,
just don't let him go off.
18 points, 10 rebounds. He's going to get his. Right. The way you beat North Carolina, though, is Marcus Page.
Okay.
You got
you're right. When he doesn't show up, they tend to lose.
When he doesn't show up, they tend to lose.
All right. So I think either one coming out of this matchup may have a very good chance to win the entire region and end up in the Final Four. It would be an incredible win for the Providence Friars, and have a little bit of nostalgia coming up for a lot of people. Let's move on to Indiana against Kentucky. A lot of people don't know that Indiana and Kentucky don't like to play each other in the regular season, and they've basically sworn off it. So
yeah, they have.
The basketball gods have given this.
They tried to play this year.
This matchup.
Indiana wanted them to come to Indiana and play at home. Mm-hmm. Kentucky's like, no, it wants to be neutral site. And Indiana goes, no, you're going to buy up all the seats.
Big Blue Nation is.
We're not going neutral site against Kentucky. You're going to buy up all
those
the
seats. They buy those seats.
You come to us and we'll go to you. And Kentucky's like, no. Because I remember Shades Valley, Christian Watford at the buzzer. Yep. Last time, I believe it was the last time Indiana played Kentucky. Wow. Knocked them off.
Yep. We might be a little salty.
I don't really like this Kentucky team as much as some other people, though. I don't think they really have what it takes.
Really?
I don't like their post play. I don't like their post play. Ulis.
Not what it's been for sure.
Ulis is he's great, But I don't know. They're just missing something. Jamal Murray doesn't have it. Euless doesn't have it.
But Jamal Murray coming on as of late, though, scored the most points in the ACC tournament, most for a Kentucky Wildcat.
Jamal Murray's a great player, but I mean, he's not going to be anything in the NBA, I don't think, more than a backup on the bench. I just don't see what other people see in Jamal Murray.
He's got a sweet stroke, so they better keep him off that three-point line.
I don't know who to take, though. I mean, both teams are 2-2 in the tournament. They're both kind of hot. Indiana's beaten Maryland by 18. Michigan State, they lost by 19.
Team.
They lost by 19 to Michigan State. Lost by 20 to Duke. But they beat Iowa twice. They beat Notre Dame, and they beat Wisconsin as well. And they were, I believe, the #1 seed in the Big 12.
It's pretty incredible
Big Ten.
because the two best point guards in this coming draft may play each other in the Sweet 16, Tyler Ulis and Chris Dunn. I think that would be a dream matchup, and that's why I want Kentucky to win.
I'm going to go Kentucky in this matchup.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to take Kentucky over Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a heck of a game, folks, so make sure you tune in. But moving on, Notre Dame, West Virginia. Notre Dame, they've just never gone very far in the tournament. West Virginia's a tournament team.
I love West Virginia,
and they're
man.
Playing great ball.
I love what Bob Huggins done there.
Yeah.
They're crazy chaos. Controlled chaos is what I call them.
Yeah.
They press you off a miss. They are in their press like that.
You better hope to be cherry picking.
Oh my.
It's not going to work against
And you're
West
not going to beat
Virginia.
them going 4-5 if you're cherry picking. So you know what? West Virginia wins.
All right. Xavier, they'll either play Wisconsin or I believe you had
Pitt.
somebody else.
I have Pitt,
you had
and
Pitt.
I believe you did too. And I watched you click Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I missed it. Oh well, I'll go back for that. But Xavier, I think, would get the win against either. This is a very good Xavier team.
This is a great team Chris Mack has. It's probably one of his best teams he's had at Xavier.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean,
it really
insane basketball being played by them.
They can score at the best with them. I mean, they're plus 7.5 on rebounding.
Wow.
Yeah, they're a big time team.
Love Xavier moving forward. Virginia against Butler. Maybe 3 or 4 years ago, Butler against this Virginia team,
Scary
I would have them, but Virginia just too talented.
Too talented. They play too smart. They play as a team.
Yes.
And like I said with Duke, they talk on defense.
Right. They rank in the top 20 in scoring and three-point percentage. Butler would have to basically get in a shootout with this team. I don't think they have the guns.
I don't see Butler winning this one either.
All right. So Virginia moving on.
We got the
Iona.
12-13.
Yeah. We get to the fun stuff now. We get the 12-13 seeding. Arkansas Little Rock against Iona. Both would have upset to reach this point. So who takes this one? I mean, I think
I'm going
it might
Arkansas
be.
Little Rock.
Yeah, I might be leaning Arkansas Little Rock.
I got 12 seed Arkansas Little Rock making it to the Sweet 16.
Yeah,
And that's how it's going to be.
I don't know if people forget they did not win their conference tournament. They actually got in with an enlarged bid, which should tell you something about them. But at the same time, Arkansas Little Rock has just been the proven winner to this point. So that would be the 12 seed moving on. Gonzaga against the Utes.
Gonzaga against the Utes.
A little familiarity between these two teams and these programs in general. I'm still going to stick with Utah, but I got a feeling that Gonzaga is going to pull the upset.
I got Gonzaga winning this one.
Yeah,
I do.
It's the pit of my stomach. I love Utah.
Gonzaga's got a poor strength of schedule. They're only 0-2. They're 0-2 in the top 25. For a lot of folks, they'd say it was a down year, and they maybe would have made the tournament, but they got in because they won their conference. But man, I love the way Welcher and Sabonis can step out. And Utah has a great big, but I think Sabonis and Welcher are going to be a step out and pull him away from the basket. And Gonzaga has strong guards. I think it's going to allow those guards to get in and get a lot of rebounds in the paint, pulling their bigs out of the basket.
Okay, and look for tons of scoring, folks. Great shooting from both of these teams. It'll be fun no matter what happens. And then you got Dayton, Michigan State. That's a real treat as well. But Michigan State, I think, would move along in this situation.
Someone brought Valentine's chocolates back to him and gave him 12 roses.
Loving it.
Yep.
Loving it.
Flyers are flying home. Michigan State wins.
A month later, Valentine's Day influences the madness of March. It's a beautiful thing.
It's the most wonderful time of year. My birthday is Wednesday.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is.
Well, happy birthday,
March
buddy.
Madness is starting.
I mean, yeah,
The best
that's a great
game-
time.
The
to-
best
to
sport in
be
all the
alive.
world. The best sport in all the world. The best time of the year in all the world for sports. Yeah, it's a
I can
wonderful
smell it
time.
now. Smell the tears.
Dude, I love this time of year.
Oh yeah.
I can care less than my
And
birthday.
it feels
I
great
can,
outside. We're obviously right here at
I can care less. It's my birthday. I didn't even realize my birthday was Wednesday until last night.
right, and we're here at Bo's Barbecue. It feels great outside. I mean,
Dude,
just
it's
take
March
a step
Madness, dude.
outside,
March
folks.
Madness is
It's
the
awesome.
best time of the year. I absolutely love it.
Right. Kansas, Maryland. Who you got there? I think Kansas moves on again pretty easily. Maryland kind of iffy on the first two matchups, or in their first round matchup.
We're doing
I-
Sweet
I-
16?
No, I'm just saying Maryland would have a problem with their first round matchup. In the second round against Kansas, I don't see it happening. A lot of people think Kansas will run through this tournament a lot like Syracuse did over a decade ago with Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah. No, I don't see Maryland winning.
They certainly got an easy route.
But I think they'll give Kansas a game because of their talent. You know, we're doing Sweet 16
Okay.
this week, right?
Arizona, Iowa. Going to be a very close game.
Why do you still have Iowa?
I don't know.
I've got Temple, Arizona Temple, and I got Temple winning.
I don't know about that, man.
I do know about it.
Oh, Iowa's good, man.
What's so crazy
I'm just
about
saying. Who do you think is going to be in your Final Four? Because we only have a few more moments.
My
on the
Final
show.
Four?
What do you think? is
Kansas,
it
Oklahoma,
at
West
the end of
Virginia,
the
and
day?
Michigan State?
Okay, I'm gonna go Kansas. I'm gonna go North Carolina. Boy. West Virginia, you think?
I got Kansas, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Michigan State. I've got an Oklahoma-Michigan State finals with Oklahoma winning.
Oof. That's going to be good. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh, but get this.
It's going to be insane.
Game of the year in college basketball, Oklahoma, Kansas. Final Four matchup, Oklahoma, Kansas. I think it's going to be
be
another
crazy.
great
After
game.
all the craziness in the Midwest, Michigan State will pretty much romp over anyone. All right, well, everybody, that'll be it. Hopefully, we'll get more March Madness in next week. So, for Hunter Price, I'm Seth Hagen. Thank you for tuning in to Sports Weekly. We'll see you next week.
Have a great time.